So let's get started as we are discussing. Yeah, when in terms of container upgrade, or if we are like we need to do some changes on the existing container and all. So mainly our duty will be like make the applications available, even if it is an application or even if it is a website or something, make it available. That's what the main job that we will have. And the code and all those things means the application code as well as the website code or something that will be taken care by the development team itself. So what we need to do is like we just want like we will take those steps that we needed in the sense like what kind of activities we need to perform, then how it will be. For example, in the first example, what we did, we just created an Nginx container, right? We just could create an Nginx server. So we didn't like configured anything in that. So it is just kind of like a vanilla kind of like it's a by default kind of thing. We didn't like configure anything over there. In the second container, what we did was like, yeah, we do have another requirement, which means, yeah, they will be providing us an index.html, which means one HTML file. So they need that HTML to be configured whenever they are calling that port or that website. Okay, so what we did was we put that HTML file in one of the directories, and we just copied, like we created a config map and we just copied the same and we put it in the Nginx server, which means whenever whoever who is accessing that Nginx server, they will be getting the updated index file, index.html file. So that requirement is addressed. So it's like that actually.
Okay. So, but the YAML files would be same. I mean, we have to do some sort of changes, but the content would be same.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's like that actually. Well, in terms of like that's whenever sometimes we need to change something, you know, like some upgrades or some updates and all, everything will be there. No, so if we are doing a change in the current container, so let's say mostly we did in two ways. Like we did the creation of those containers with the help of like we didn't use the YAML file in the first container and we used a YAML file in second container. So in
Second
first
container.
container, it was an approach. It is a kind of approach that we can create. Okay. But
Okay.
the mostly used means we will be 90% using the second scenario, like you will be using YAML configurations
Okay.
because
Okay.
like yeah, it's a way like creating containers with the help of few commands uh, and expose using that kubectl expose command. Yeah, that's fine, but we will not be using that much. Mainly, we will be using that YAML kind of approach. So,
Okay.
and definitely, if you wanna upgrade that uh, container that is created by that kind of series of command itself, yeah, it's possible. There are commands that will help us to make some changes to the current deployment. That's
Okay.
fine. Okay. So but what we will be mostly doing should be which is related to the YAML files. It should be like that actually, because we'll be getting more requests on that part rather than working on some kind of contain like those kind of commands and all.
Okay, sir. Okay.
I hope you got my point.
Yes, sir.
It's like when it comes to real time projects and all, YAML deployment YAML and service YAML is the more important than those kind of commands actually.
Okay. But sir, in
Obviously.
the first container,
Hmm.
sorry, in the first container, we also um, um, im- uh, I mean, you can call it as import. We imported the Docker file in it, right? So, and that
Hmm.
was nginx.
Hmm.
So let's say, um, if we as you told me in the earlier session that we have to uh, like send push the Docker file to the Docker hub, and from there we can pull it back, right?
Yeah.
So
Either we can use Docker Hub or we can use Azure Container Registry to push some images. Yeah, any kind of that kind of repository should be fine.
okay, so let's say we have a Docker file name nginx123, let's say.
Mm.
So we push it to Docker hub, the
Mm.
registry, and then we pull it back to the this first container instead of nginx. So do we have to write nginx123, the file name, the actual file name?
Yeah, we need to mention the image name.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so whatever we are getting, yeah,
Okay.
see, in Docker Hub, whenever we are searching for something, we'll be getting a lot more. See, this is Postgres image. This is BusyBox. This is Memcached, Alpine. Lot of images are there. If we need to like fetch these images, what we want to do is like, yeah, here Nginx is there, right? Similarly, Ubuntu, we will be going to Ubuntu. Yeah. So this is a command, docker pull Ubuntu. Okay. And if see, let's see some tags. There will be some tags. That's what I said, like docker pull Ubuntu rolling, which means if we pushed one image with the tag rolling, then that particular image will be pulled.
Okay.
So if we have, like we signed in and we push one image over here, yeah, we can like pull it if that image is available in the Docker Hub.
Okay.
Okay. So even if it is Docker Hub or whatever the repository that we are using, so we can pull it. Okay.
Okay.
And in Azure Container Registry, we will normally call it as this thing, ACR. There are some roles also. Okay. Sometimes we need some roles and all. See here, some kind of role must be right. You will get a detailed idea on that. There will be some permissions kind of thing. If we have one user, if the user is owner, then that's fine. Like he can do or she can do. The user can perform all activities. So there are some kind of segregation as well in terms of permissions. Normally what happens, right? Like either contributor or owner will be there. And in sometimes, sorry, yeah, in some organization, there may be some restrictions to giving all those accesses. So it may be, sorry. So it could be like only push or pull like that. There will be some little permissions or something. That's up to that configurations that. When it comes to Docker Hub, there is no that kind of limitations. But in container registries, yeah, we can do that actually.
Okay.
Some kind of granularity that we can. Okay.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay, great. And yeah, our main, yeah, I'll be starting with today's topic, that is Azure DevOps deep dive. So in Azure DevOps, as we know, it's kind of what we can say. It's an offering by Azure itself. So we'll be able to use that service same as it's not same as Azure, but it comes with a kind of what we can say. If we have an Azure subscription or something, we will be having this thing as well. So it's like that Azure DevOps as well. So both are different products, different perspectives. When it comes to Azure, it is basically on different kind of services and workloads, whether we can deploy VM, deploy Kubernetes cluster, like it is mainly the components or the services that we will be using to deploy our workloads actually, whether it is a VM or what Kubernetes or whatever. Okay. But in time when it comes to Azure DevOps, actually, it is something like a, a bunch of services that they are providing and which is having a lot of capabilities actually. So we are leveraging this Azure DevOps for how it is deployed, which means we have a lot of like VMs or we have different workloads, no? So in Azure Cloud, what we did was we mainly deploy those kind of workloads in different services. But in Azure DevOps, what happens is it is like how we will deploy that. Means whether it is with the help of something or we are using some tools or something like that. So that's what happening over here. So we can say that there are a lot of things that we will be considering in Azure DevOps. Basically, yeah, uh, let's get started on that. So let's deep dive into it. So we'll be mainly discussing three things today. One is that what is Azure DevOps, which means we'll be like going through an overview of what is Azure DevOps. So Azure DevOps itself is a service. So it is providing a bunch of services that I said, and we'll like just look into what all kind of services it is providing, and we'll have a back throughout that portal that we have in Azure DevOps. Okay, so let's get started. Mainly, what is Azure DevOps? Azure DevOps is something um, like it's a collaborative culture actually. As we know, DevOps is a culture, no? So in Azure DevOps, what happens is like we'll be bringing together a lot of things. Means we'll be using some set of processes that bring together, like we'll be bringing together the developers, the project managers. Also, there will be contributors to develop a software, right? So we are like it's a culture to bringing all these guys together actually. So that's what basically this Azure DevOps will support. Okay, so it's offering that kind of solutions actually. So mainly it will allow an organization, yeah, we will call it as organization, which means in every project we will like not in every project actually that we will be creating an organization. Under that only we will be having multiple projects. Okay, so with the help of these kind of like hierarchy, uh, it will allow us to create organization. Okay, or it will allow organization to create and improve the product. Okay, which means they can do their deployments very much faster. They can follow up that processes. They can monitor the entire development life cycles and all. So it's kind of actually helping out the capabilities that has to be taken care whenever an application or workload or something is deployed. So it is like bringing all those guys who are working on this application development in different phases will be bringing all together into a single umbrella. That's what basically Azure DevOps do. Okay, so we'll have two kind of versions. One is like Azure DevOps, or if some, and there is one another version which is completely working on premises, which is Azure DevOps server. Okay, so basically one is the cloud version and one is the on-premise version. We can call it like that. Okay, so in cloud, yeah, we will have different kind of services, which means it will provide a scalable kind of thing, which is reliable, and also as well as it is globally available as well. So we will get as much as the SLA, means the service level agreement, as 99.9% of SLA that we will get, and 24/7 operations, and all those things will be getting across the world actually. But when it comes to that on-premises offering, like it's providing an SQL server with it's providing an Azure DevOps server, which is built on some kind of SQL server backend. So mainly the usage will be usually choose that in on-premises. Okay, so which means they need their data in their data center, and they don't need to go to the public internet, or they don't need to expose anything to the public. So they interested in keeping their data in their data center or in their on-premises itself. So that's the difference between, like, that's how that two tools services will work. One is for cloud and one is for on-premises. For on-premises, yeah, we will call it as Azure DevOps itself, and the other one is Azure DevOps Server. Okay.
Okay.
If you have any questions, just ask. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So as we said, Azure DevOps, the hierarchy is like in Azure DevOps, mainly we will have one organization. Okay. We need one organization, at least one organization, to create a project. Under this organization, we may have project 1, project 2, project 3. Okay, this kind of hierarchy it is using. Okay, so we may have different organization, multiple organization we can use. So one organization can't it's like a project will be there inside under organization. So in each project we may have those services, like for project 1 what we all need, yeah, that we will have here. Okay, for project 2 what we need, that we'll have here. This kind of, like, for example, our application code will be stored here, pipelines will be stored here, maybe artifacts will be stored here. Okay, a lot of times will be here, so that we will discuss. So this is the hierarchy for better understanding. That's a hierarchy. So an organization and project will be there to handle those capabilities that Azure is offering. So that's what the main thing is. And I hope you got it right.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, we are talking about the Azure DevOps, right, sir?
Yes, Azure DevOps.
Okay. So it has an organization in which like multiple projects could be there, and each project consists of like coding and all, right? That's what the image says.
Correct. So when it comes to licenses of that, there are two kind of offerings basically. So the basic plan is offering first 5 users for free, as well as another like $6 or something per user per month for an extra user. And we can start it as free actually, which means first 5 users are free, no? If we are doing test plan is one of the offering. So if we are going with that, then it will be like a $52 or something approximate per month. And so I'll come to that, what all different services and all things are there. See, in a normal Azure license, we will have pipelines, okay? Azure pipelines, Azure boards, Azure repos, and Azure artifacts. These are the 4 basic things that we will be having, okay? So Azure pipelines, I'll come to that, okay? I will come to all these things one by one. And only thing there is an extra is test plans, which means there are some strategies and all that we can adopt to perform testing of our application and all. So it's like that. So basically, these are the kind of services that Azure DevOps will give you. And there are some kind of like limits and all is there according to the plan as well. Okay. So basically, it is like getting these things done with the help of this kind of offerings. There is one more thing that we need to discuss is like there are some kind of services that we can use as an individual kind of services. Here, user licenses are there, no? So here also like we can go for Azure pipelines only, or like with the help of that also like we can use artifacts also. Artifacts means just like some kind of packages or something. Okay, so here we can see, you can see, Maven, npm means related to Node.js. Okay, Maven, Java, Python kind of packages that we are mainly handling. So artifacts is something like that some kind of output that we will be getting when building an application or something. Okay, we can explain it something like that. Okay, so that's what artifacts is. Azure pipeline is something like there are CI, CD. Yeah, I'll come to that. What is CI and CD? So it's like that. So basically, these are the main services that Azure DevOps will offer. So we can leverage that capabilities to our projects, and we'll be able to use that kind of operations as well, so that it will help out to achieve our goals. So main thing is Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps is something like the capabilities that we will be using to deploy the applications or the applications or resources and whatever it is. So do you get an idea on what is Azure DevOps basically?
Yeah, yes, I got it. So basically we are just deploying the application. Yes.
Here, like how we will deploy. For example, if we need to create an application, for example, Node.js application, we'll be using like the building process now. So normally what we'll do for an application, yeah, and I'll explain that too. So normally, for example, we have an application, JS application, let it be. We have one Node.js application which is developing by the developers of our company. Okay, so what they will do is like there will be a lot of files. Like they have one folder, and inside that every files are there. So there will be dependencies, a lot of things happening there. Let's say we don't know that how what all kind of code they are written inside, and how like that commands and all packages, how it is working. We don't have much an idea on it, but they're working on Node.js, for example. So our goal is to deploy this application. Okay. So developers' goal is to develop this application and we need to deploy it. So first of all, like if it comes to Node.js, we just wanted to know, okay, what all kind of steps that we need to take to deploy this application. So normally, what happens is in Node.js, it is like npm build, okay, npm, or what we can call it as publish. Okay, these kind of commands that we will use. Okay, normally, and there will be different commands as well according to the application. So this kind of commands will be we need to take it from the developers. So what all commands that we will be using and all. And there will be some kind of general steps in the sense, yeah, if it is Node.js, we will be using npm and all. If it is a Java, then it will be Java or kind of Java C kind of commands. It's up to the developers itself, like what kind of commands that we will be using. So we need to, for example, we need to use this, like run this step first, then we need to run this. And for example, if we are planning to deploy this application to Azure App Service, then we need to like deploy to web app or something. Okay, this we will do a demo, but ideally the steps are like 1, 2, 3 steps we need to achieve. Then that application will be available in our cloud. So we just want to understand what are steps we need to like focus, and then we can do that actually. So Azure DevOps is somewhere we can handle all these things, like making some kind. This is what like pipelines is. Azure pipelines is okay. In Azure pipelines, what we will doing is we will be scheduling. We will be like telling that okay, do this job. After that, they do this job. It is like automating the steps that we will be using when we are trying to deploy an application. It's like that. Okay, so that's about the Azure pipelines. Huh? So it's like a task, one by one task that we need to perform. With the help of Azure DevOps, what we are achieving is we will be trying to automate it as well. Okay.
Okay. So does each application has its own steps? Like every application, I mean, for each application, we have to go through the same steps.
It is like, yeah, that's what I said. Like if it is Java, then it could be something like Java runtime or Java C compiling, like that. So mostly that steps will be depends upon the how that application is, which means with what kind of technology that application was built. If it is a Node.js, then it is like npm at all. If it is Java, then different package, like different commands. If it is something else, then yeah, that is different commands. So whatever that, let's say they have developed one application, what all steps they are doing to deploy their application. For example, integrating all the like all of that files in it, and they are trying to integrate it. Yeah, we will integrate it and we will make a pack build, and from that build we will be running an application like that. There will be, so that kind of things that we will take care here. We will be performing that activities here. So that's that's one of the perspective that we will be using this Azure DevOps. We can configure all those things in Azure pipelines. So that was mainly related to Azure pipelines, because it will give us to run those tasks and all with the help of these kind of steps and all. Yeah, we will do those hands-on, so that you will also get to know how it is happening and what all kind of things will be happening. So it is like before that, you just wanted to understand there will be different applications, and we'll be using mostly Node.js. So it will be able to, like, you can easily understand that. So we will mostly use Node.js, and So what we need to understand is in Azure DevOps, we can automate the task. Okay. So whatever the task the developers are doing manually, we can automate that. So for publishing or for publishing an application, what all steps we need to take that we can collect from the developers. For example, build and publish, all these things can be taken care by, like taken from the development team, and deploying this we can design to where we need to deploy, to a VM or to a Kubernetes cluster or a app service, that we can design according to our like decisions or our architecture. We can decide. Okay, so it's like that. So we just wanted to know that. That's it. Okay, so among this, I said no, Azure pipelines, Azure port, post artifacts. The mostly used thing is Azure pipelines. Also, we can use Azure Repos or Azure Artifacts and all. So Azure board is something like a tracking of the work items. Okay, so I'll come to that.
So, sir, as you said, the Node.js and Java languages. So, are we going to code here?
We will not do the codings. We will take someone's code because we are not the developers. So we will not code.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we will do a hands-on probably in the next session. Okay.
Okay, sir, definitely.
So today we will mostly cover the concept because it is an entire different thing. Like till last sessions, we mostly covered the Azure Cloud and all, right? This is a new concept, so we need to give an overview and then start.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So, and we will do that walkthrough as well, so you will get an idea what all things are there. Okay. So when it, do you heard about CI/CD? CI/CD.
Yes, sir. Isn't it like continuous integration and continuous deployment?
Definitely, definitely. There are few things more than that actually. So I'll come to that. So CI and CD, the most used word in DevOps and all. So for example, CI is for continuous integration. So in continuous integration, what happens? Like it will automate the code integration. Okay. In CI, what happens? Code integration will be happen. Okay. So this code integration will be happen from multiple contributors into a single project. So the idea is like there will be a lot of contributors that we will have. From that, we will be integrating the code and we will make it as a single project, which means package or something, single project. Then what happens? Then like, yeah, there will be some kind of steps that we will have, whether we will be building that or testing that, or maybe using some security scanning kind of things, all these things that we will be taking care. So continuous integration is a what? Integration thing that we will be doing. So mainly we will be integrating the code from multiple contributors. That's what the first task is. So is that good?
Okay. So integrating code
in the sense that that's what I'm saying. For example, here in this project 3, okay, I do have multiple files which is related to an application or something. Then I need to make it as a package or something. Okay, means there will be different versions of code, different packages, different references, different things, a lot of things. Okay. So in CI, what happens is we'll be integrating all these things and we will be making it as a single file. Okay. maybe it will be the outcome of this like entire process, which means
Okay.
there may be creating something or making an instance of it or echo, whatever it is. Okay.
Like a final file.
Yeah, final file kind of thing, we can say that.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe if it is in Node.js, it may be like created a folder called build, like build or something, or maybe package or something. Or if it is in Java, yeah, it may be also creating some kind of folders as that whenever that. So for example, we build one Docker file and what happens? One image created, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, similarly, like they will be compiling and testing. All those things happen here, and it will be creating some kind of package and all. Actually, that's what the basic thing is. Hmm?
Okay.
So that CI means integrating all those updates that we have. Okay, there will be contributors, like different developers will be working and we'll be integrating all those codes and we'll create a single like module, means single component. Actually, we can not a module, single component. Okay,
Okay,
and
sir.
CD is like uh, we can define CD in two ways. One is continuous deployment. Okay, continuous deployment. What happens is like it's an automated process. Okay, it is an automated process for software releases. So it is like it will be, as I said, it will be automated. So it will check the testing, it will do the validations and all before the deployment to production, which means production means what? The final version or the final environment. So here what happens is uh, continuous deployment is something like it's an automated software release process that uses like uh, different kind of testings to validate the changes before that deployment. That automated deployment is happened to the production. Okay. So the main thing is there will be no manual interventions. Okay. There will be no manual interventions in between. So we don't need a manual interventions in continuous deployment. So for example, if um, one repo is here, okay, one repo means one repository that we will be using. There will be different kind of repositories, GitHub or Azure repo. Azure repo is one of repositories. Okay, okay, so we can store code here. So we have some kind of code here, for example, or some files. We have some few files over here, and different different developers are working on it. Okay. And what happens is he pushes the code, he gives his update, he gives his update, and they got one version of this. Okay. These three developers did their changes and they have one update in place. Okay. Like one latest version is there. And so once we will call commit. Okay. Do you heard about commit? Commit is a keyword that we will be using, which means we will be pushing our new updates. That's what a commit means. Okay.
Okay.
So once the commit is available, what will happen? If it is continuous deployment, what will happen? It will go to, if it is build is there, build. If their test is available, test it. Then it will deploy. Okay. It will be automated. No manual interventions happened in between. But another CD called continuous delivery. Okay, one is continuous deployment and other is continuous delivery. Continuous delivery is like it is also an automated process, okay, of like delivering the complete code to testing and in to the different environments in a specific manner or in a consistent manner and in an efficient way to deploy a code. But what happens is a manual intervention is happening in between. Here what happened? Started building, then it started testing, then it started deploying, right? For example, if we have a latest commit, then they will do build, test, deploy. Everything will be there. So whatever the latest update that they have in the repo, it should be replicated in the application, right? Because it is deploying right away. But in this continuous delivery, what happens is they will build. Okay, it's also like building is an automatic process. Once build is run, we will get a prompt or something. We need to approve or deny, that kind of thing. Okay, once it is done, then it will do testing. Then again, it will request us to approve or deny. According to that, then they will deploy. Okay, in deploy also there will be different environments, no? Like development, UAT, production. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's the different stages of.
Yes, different stages. Correct, exactly. So in deploy itself also, yeah, we will have development. So it will ask us, or maybe development will be run right away, or it will ask for permission or something. Then we will give. After this, UAT will be happening. We may get some kind of approval or something. Then we need to give that. It's kind of a manual interventions is needed here actually.
So, sir, are we going to approve or deny them?
Yeah, we need to do that, because in continuous delivery, actually we need a manual intervention in between. Okay, but in continuous deployment, what happens is everything is automated. We don't need to do anything. If once we configure this, what happens is it will start, build, test, deploy. Then product will be available either in a web application or where it will be available. That's what I said. If we do a commit, means the latest version of the code is available here. It will start building, testing, deploying, and the final product will be available here. Okay. So whatever the latest commit we have, that will be replicated here. But in continuous delivery, what happens? It will
ask for approval.
Yeah, it will ask for next stages. Whether it will ask for build or it will, in each stages that they will ask, or according to the configurations. Like we can see, there may be building happening in every commits, or manually we can like approve those. Once the build is done, there may be like we don't need to configure test or something. That's also fine. But in deploy also, like we will be a multi-staging deployment will be happening over there, so that we need to think, that we need to take care. So an approval or kind of verifications or kind of thing will be required in continuous delivery.
Okay, so we can call continuous deployment as the automatic process and continuous delivery as the manual process.
You can call it as continuous deployment and continuous delivery as an automated process. But in continuous deployment, no manual interventions is needed. But in continuous delivery, there will be some manual interventions in between.
Okay.
Okay, both are actually automated process because the building is happening automatically, right? Testing is happening,
Yes, sir.
every stage is happening automatically. But like either we need to allow or deny, or there is some kind of manual interventions is needed. Either it may be approval or deny, or verification, or something like that. Okay. It is
Okay.
like two kind of workers we have. One worker is like once we assign the job, he will go and finish it and come back. Okay. He will not take any kind of, like we already told him, okay, do this, do this, do this. So what he will do, whenever he are getting a task, he will go then, he will do it and come back. In continuous delivery, what happens? We already told, okay, do all these things. Okay. Before doing all, take my approval. So what he will do, he will go and take one task. He will ask, okay, this is completed. I will take this. Okay, then we will say, okay, do the other thing. Okay, then he will go and do other task, and then he will complete and come back. So actually, it is configured. What the task is configured, how to do it. It is already configured, but in between or something, they need some kind of approval or a manual intervention. Do you get that idea?
Yeah, yes, sir, got it.
So it's like that.
Okay.
So that's what. And continuous monitoring is something like monitoring itself. Like we'll be using something for monitoring. That's it. We don't need to like bother about this part that much. The main thing is these three, because you will be also getting some kind of questions on this whenever you are appearing for an interview or something. Okay. Mostly they will be asking you, okay, what is the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment? Or what is the difference between continuous integration and continuous deployment, like that? Okay. Or they will ask what is CI/CD. So as I said, Azure DevOps is a collaborative culture and a set of process. So it's doing what it is bringing all those stakeholders, all those workers, all employees, all developers, project managers, and all contributors together to develop a software. So it allows organization to create and improve products in a faster pace. And we can work in the Azure cloud, right? We can work in the cloud with Azure DevOps services. So as I said, now we have two versions. One is for cloud and other is for on-premises. So in cloud, we will be using Azure DevOps services, and in on-premises, we will have Azure DevOps server. Just for understanding. And there are different kind of like, as I said, now there are Azure boards, Azure repos, Azure pipelines, Azure test plans, Azure artifacts. So this is basically, there will be like a different kind of capabilities that we have in Azure. So first of all, Azure board is nothing but it is something like a tracking or something. It is something like a web-based planning software kind of thing. Like we can plan it, we can track the team, we can track the task, we can discuss what all things are happening in the entire development process. So it will be adopting some kind of methodologies, which means agile methodology. It will apply, or it will use Scrum. So different kind of project management perspective methodologies they will use. So mainly Azure board is like it is mainly into managing or tracking. It is similar like Jira and all. Do you heard about Jira?
Yeah, yes, sir. It's uh,
ITL software.
uh,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, tracking and all. Yeah, similarly, yeah, similar kind of thing. Azure board is similar kind of thing actually. And
Okay.
and Azure repos is similar like this Git repo and all. So we will be using as a version control tool. Okay. Mainly we are using that to manage our code. So we can like whether it is a large project or small project, that's fine. We can use Azure Repos so that like we can use that.
Access it easily.
Yes, we can manage that. So you will be like you are accessing like my updated code in that Git repo, right? Like that,
Yeah,
we can use
it's
Azure
like
Repos.
it's just a folder, right?
Yeah, it is kind of folder actually, but it is like a version control, we can say, because there will be different versions of that. So
Okay.
whenever a lot of people are working together, there will be like different kind of what different kind of updating the code, maintaining the code, and is happening. So yeah, we will cover. I think we are covering that part in somewhere. I think. See, we are covering that. Yeah, I think the next week we will be discussing on that. So what are
Okay.
virtual control systems, and so don't need to bother much about it. Okay, we'll be discussing some kind of terms and all next week. So it's like that. And in Azure pipelines, I said no, we can build, we can release, and all. So the continuous integration, continuous deployment, that kind of things will be mostly taking on Azure pipelines. So whenever you are seeing that, okay, which kind of pipelines that you will be using. So yeah, you can say I'm using Azure pipelines throughout my projects and all. So I used that to deploy resources or deploy applications, you can say. And yeah, test plan is something like it will be providing us different tools to test. So there will be different kind of testing as per the strategy. So they will tell us which kind of test that we need to take care, so that accordingly we can use those kind of, we can integrate those kind of softwares or something in that, okay, in the project. And artifact is something like it's a package, as I said, while we are creating some applications or something, there will be some packages creating. So we will be managing that packages and all with the help of artifacts. Okay. So the packages that is created as part of pipelines and all will be created as an artifact in Azure DevOps. Okay.
Okay.
Maven, it is related to Java. Okay. NPM related to Node.js. Nugget related to C Sharp, .NET and also .NET and all. It is like that. So different kind of packages related to different kind of technologies, which will be handled across the team and across the project with the help of Azure Artifacts. That's
Okay.
it. So these all you just need to understand what that concept is. That's it. And we will be like, yeah, as I said, no dashboards, repos, boards, pipelines, test plans. Dashboards is similarly like it is similarly something like a Jira and all. So you can have that kind of like tracking works
Tracking.
and all over
Yeah.
there. Repos is as I know, similarly it's kind of version control. So basically we can store our data, our files and all in that. So we can manage it easily. And board is something like managing some kind of Jira setups. Dashboard is an overview. So you will get an overview with the help of dashboard. Board is something like similarly like a Jira. Okay, it is like tracking all those parts and all. Pipeline, as we said, CI/CD pipelines that we can go like configure with the help of pipelines. Test plan is something like we can integrate some test plans or we can adopt some strategies as per the company compliance and as per the require from the development team. Okay, so these are the main services that we will be having in Azure DevOps. And see, actually, we will be doing that walkthrough now. Let me take. See, this is the one of the, okay, you can do one thing. You can, whenever you are getting some time, there is one, yeah, there is one. I'll be giving you that. Yeah, one website is there. Okay. So this is the website actually, Azure DevOps demo generator. Okay, .azurewebsite.net. In this, you can create demos. Okay. So I'll explain with the help of demo. So this is one sample application. Okay, sample this one repo. So here I have a project. See, yeah, I have two projects here. Okay, so there are two this thing. These are organizations and these are projects. Okay, I have sample project, sample AKS project here. So I think I don't have anything inside it. It is just kind of, yeah, nothing is there. So I'll be going to sample. Okay, sample project. This is a project, and we have summary. See, this is the project, and it is created by a demo. And in dashboards, we can see the whole things like, okay, how many features we have, work items we have, what kind of task is there, any bugs or something is there. It's kind of a dashboard actually, as we said. Now, in a glimpse, we can see all the things. Okay. So it is not like it is not mandatory to use dashboards. We can use or no, we don't need to use. It's up to us. Means it's up to the organization whether they need to stick on Azure dashboard and boards and all. Otherwise, they may be using Jira or something like that. Okay, it's up to their convenient. In dashboard, mainly you will getting a glimpse of what is happening. How many tickets are open and all.
So just basically dashboards and Jira, it just gives the updates of what's happening, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So it's like that. It's a glimpse actually. As what the name suggests, dashboard. Like you will be getting all those things, all these stuffs over here. And boards is similarly, yeah, the task. Okay, the task means how the tasks are. Okay, build failed. We need to assign it to someone more, or it will be a list of tasks. For example, see, like we need to regulate the standards for database system. We can assign it to something, or it is resolved. Okay, it is resolved. There is some new active one. Okay, we can make it active. Like we can take that task and we can investigate it, what it is going on. See, we can resolve it, or we can put we can put our comments and all. That's all is fine.
Okay. So sir, is it an open website or
Yeah,
like
I'll come to that.
like
Okay.
okay.
So it is like that. It is, we can manage the boards like mainly how we need to manage the track all things. See, these are this is Kanban board. Okay, actually tracking the work items. Okay, here some task is going on here. So here it is resolved. Maybe this here as an administrator, I want to manage productivity, like the different kind of task actually, basically. Okay. So, and there are a lot of things, backlogs, sprints, means if there are any backlogs happening, we are already ahead or we are already backward, or like in terms of time and all, we will be having that kind of options over here. So this will be mostly for a managerial perspective. So we don't need to much involve in it actually, because it's like a management thing actually. Okay. So we'll have different kind of things like, is there any plans or views and all that we will get it from here. Okay. So all history by month. So we can edit it like that. Actually, this is mostly a project management perspective, like a Jira kind of thing. So mostly we will not be taking care of this, even if we are some companies using Jira and all. Yeah, it is different. Some companies may use Azure boards. So that only at that time only we need to like think about it. Okay. And when it comes to Azure repos, yeah, this is the main thing that I said now. So we will have our code available here. Actually, this is created automatically. I didn't create it, but here we can manage the code. Okay, our code will be reside here, and we can build the code and all from here. Okay, so in Azure repos, what happens is files will be stored, and we will have multiple branches. We can create new branches. So these are different and a different concept. So that we will be discussing in the next week. So as of now, just understand, okay, we can store some folders, we can put our folders, our files and all inside this repo. Okay. And these are like commits means how many times we just uploaded that. So we will get that history in commits. See, added something, okay, or updated the file, updated a pipelines, added template, added some packages, updated one file. Okay, it's like that. Okay. And branches is like, yeah, we can manage that files in different branches that we will discuss in next next week. Okay, we don't need to much worry about that. We'll be discussing that.
So, sir, is this the page where we are going to create something like CI/CD pipelines and all? Is it the page where I mean here in this portal itself? Are we going to create here, or is there anything else, any website else where we are going to work on?
Give me a second. Give me a
Because
second. Give me a second.
okay.
Okay, can you repeat that once again? I didn't get you.
No, I was saying, is this the only page where we are going to create the CI/CD pipelines and all? Is this page, or we have some other different page?
We have different pages. This is only about storing, maintaining our code, our files and all. In repos, only we will be maintaining code and all. Or if we having some Docker file, okay, we will have Docker file over here. Okay, I think here. Docker. It's like up to that, what we can say, up to that kind of project. So maybe in different projects, different kind of things will be happening now. So let's say if we have one Docker file which is creating an image, that file can be like uploaded here.
Oh, okay. So we have to upload over here.
Yeah. We have to. So there's an option actually. We can folder or create folder or something, or we can upload. See here we can see upload file, download file. We can create new file or folder, or clone. Clone means we can download it. Means we can use this in our command prompt and all like that. Okay, just different operations that we can use.
Okay.
Okay, ideally what we will be using is, we will be creating some files in our local and we will be pushing to this repository. Okay, so we will create one repository. Actually, we need to create one repository. So if you write, if we go here, you can create new repository. Okay, that is what here, and what we can like store those file over here. That's it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we may consume all those files or some of the files for our different purposes. You can see
Okay.
pipelines here, right?
Yes.
Pipelines. There's another pipeline. Okay, so actually this is a pipeline file that we need to execute. Okay, it's a pipeline file only, but we are not executing it over here. For that purpose, actually we are using Azure pipelines. Okay, here we have one pipeline. See, one pipeline is there, no?
Yes.
Okay, so this we can run pipeline. Actually, I don't know why it will take. Okay, it will miss some task. Okay, because it is just a demo, it will not work.
So that sir, who created that pipeline? I mean, it was
Yeah,
already there, right?
it is sample. See, whenever we are signing in, it will give some kind of bunch of samples. So it is one of the sample. I didn't do anything.
Okay.
It is for actually for a walkthrough. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
So in pipelines, you can create pipelines. Okay, if you click new pipelines, you can click like create classic pipelines here, or there are according to like where our code is residing, accordingly that we can create a pipeline. So this part also, like creating a pipeline and all, will be taking care in the next session. Just currently we are exploring those areas. So we will be having the pipelines. We can segregate those environments. For example, production, test, that kind of segregations that we can do. As we know, right? We discussed this now. UAT, UAT, prod and all.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Different
and
environment.
also, yeah, pipelines and releases, which means deployment. Here, pipelines, we may create pipelines in two different ways. Either we will create only one pipeline to the CI process and the CD process, or we will be doing CI integration part in pipelines and deployment part is in releases. Okay. There will be different approach. Okay. So that is the main part that we need to check actually this. And you can group the task. Okay. If you need to like run some few jobs all together, you can think about task. You can put everything is in a task group and it can be like taken care accordingly. So in terms of integration or like running pipeline, or you can group it actually. And in deployment group, it is something similarly like you can what it's a logical group that we can say, so that we can mention the devices or something like machines and something to perform parallel deployments. Okay.
Okay.
Which means if we need to like perform activities parallelly, then we can use help of deployment groups also.
Okay.
Okay. And test plans. I said now, it is like normally it is giving you an idea like how it can work, but mainly it is like we can configure different plans, we can adopt some plans, some kind of strategies. It's up to the testing team what all strategies we need to integrate. So accordingly, we can like install or something, some kind of products or like some kind of strategies or something. Okay. It's up to that configuration. So mainly our concentration will be on repos and pipelines because that's much important. Okay. Because we have to do a lot of things over here. And we can say in a DevOps perspective, this will be the main, like DevOps and repos and pipelines will be the main thing. Testing will be like will be taken care, but according to the strategies, we can integrate testing. There are some testing softwares we can integrate that for testing plan. What all steps we need to be taken, like that we can like manage with the help of test plans. Okay, and artifacts, as I said, once we get some integration and some kind of packages and all, then we will be having that artifacts. It is in the form of artifacts itself. Okay. So mainly Azure DevOps is helping out to deploy from some code. So we can build, we can test, we can deploy, like that. All those and things can be taken care with the help of DevOps, Azure DevOps. Do you get that?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So I'll be sharing this URL with you so that you can just go through, and you don't need to do anything. Just go through it and just explore what all things you are able to see. Okay.
Okay, I'll do that.
I put it in the chat. You can take it from the group. So that's the main thing. Yeah, these are the components that we have and all. And Azure DevOps, we can use it for deploying, managing the deployments, how you need to deploy. All these kind of things can be achieved with the help of Azure DevOps actually. So from end to end, like if it is a product, like it will have an all kind of perspective, right? Because project management kind of perspective, tracking work items, like reviewing and all things will be there. Managing the code, managing storing code, managing code and all things are there in the repos. Managing pipelines are there in pipelines. Testing strategies can be taken care with the help of testing plans and artifacts, which means that packages and all that we are getting from our build process and other process can be taken care by the artifacts itself. So these are the different capabilities that Azure DevOps are offering. And we need to our mainly focus will be on repos, pipelines, and obviously we will be doing this and we will be getting artifacts. So that part also we will cover. Let's see if we can cover test plans as well, because sometimes that version will not allow us to use testing plans because it is like it is as per the subscription. Yeah, let's see if it is available. We'll try it out if it is possible. Okay. If we have time, we can take it as a bonus. We can at least we need to cover others.
Okay, sir.
So in this week, we'll be mostly discussing that part. Any questions or something?
No, sir, no questions. But I would just ask whether this particular Azure DevOps website. So this, I mean, is it the only place we are going to create the pipelines and repositories and everything over here?
Yeah, here we will be getting all those things in one umbrella. And if we are thinking about pipelines, we do have another options like Git Actions or Jenkins. All are like softwares or services that they will perform, like they will support us to create pipelines.
Okay.
We created one Jenkins server now.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually a like it's helping us to create pipelines. If you log in and configure that, there you will get some interface to create pipelines and all. That's also possible. To deploy resources in Azure, actually we don't need to rely on Azure DevOps. Okay, we can configure with the help of Jenkins or Git Actions or whatever.
Okay, so pipelines can be created through Jenkins and all as well.
But the advantage is once you have an Azure subscription, automatically you will get Azure DevOps also. And the connections, the permissions will be fine. Like that can be taken care easily. Okay.
Yeah, as you said, like it's all in one umbrella. So.
Yeah, yes. And there is one concept, okay, called service connection. Okay, it's a two-way connection, which means we have Azure. Okay, we have Azure and Azure DevOps. Okay, Azure and Azure DevOps. So what happens is they need to authenticate each other. Okay. So with the help of here, we will call it a service connection. Here we will call as service principal. Okay. So we can configure service principal here, and with the help of service principal, we can add it over here. Okay. So it will authenticate as a service connection. So once we have service principal, we can add a service connection. That's it. So that's how that authentication is happening.
Okay.
And mostly these kind of activities will be taken care of the global administrators. Like it's a high priority or higher level task actually. The authentication and all means creating service principal or configuring service connections. I can show you one thing. Let me see in project settings. I think it should be there. See service connection. No. Here we can create service connection. Okay. See, we can connect to Azure. We can connect to GitHub, Kubernetes, Jira. Lot of things. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So service connections means here. See, from Azure DevOps to Azure connections can be configured.
So does it mean, sir? Let's say if you want to connect to like Azure, and in that Azure, like we have some couple of files over there. So can we get those files over here?
Yeah, we can create workloads from here. So once we have enough like a connection with that, we can deploy that.
Okay. Okay, sir.
You can see Jenkins also. So it is like different tools that we can. Okay, so that connections will be happening and then it will be taken care of. Okay, so that's all about today. Any questions?
No, sir, no question.
Okay, so we'll try to take our hands-on like a lab the next day. So just go through this recording as well as the URL I have shared. Okay, let's explore.
Okay, sir, we'll do that.
Okay,
okay,
and what about was availability on like each day? I'm planning because next week mostly I'll not be available because I do have some personal commitments. So what about like?
No, I'll be free, sir. Whatever the time you schedule, I mean, I'm okay with that. But Abdullah, and anyways, he told me that he's going with the recordings because of
okay, he's mostly going to the recordings. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to the recordings.
He's following, right?
So like, Yes, I mean, I just talked to him, so he said like, yeah, I'm going with the recordings. So actually, he was out of state. He just came in back to Chicago. So, anyways, I'll just ask him. Um, but in my case, like, I'm okay with any time. It's okay. Whatever the time we schedule, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Okay, just check with him also. Just have a word also. So I'll be taking for you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay then. Okay then.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.